thanks so much for being here. My name is Kat and I make houseplant videos here on Good and Planty. If you just happen to absolutely love this video, please consider liking it, commenting, subscribing, or following me on Instagram. All of these things help me grow my channel like a plant. All right, it is freezing outside, but it is technically spring for me here in Philly. I figured a good way to kind of embrace this new season and get excited about houseplants again is to talk about some of my very exciting growth updates. I have a handful of plants with me here today that are showing amazing signs of growth. I have some flowers too. I'm just gonna run through them, talk a little bit about how they're doing, and it should be a fun video. So here we go. Okay, the first plant I wanna talk about, uh-oh, just knocked her over. It is my black gold goldfish plant. First of all, the foliage by itself has been doing amazing. I have 5 vines growing. Keep in mind, I got her very, very tiny, just like a little, almost like a plug. The growth has been phenomenal, but on top of that, I am getting so many little flowers right now. Here's one of the bigger ones, and you can see where the black gold goldfish plant gets its name. It's because the flowers look like little goldfish. This one is not fully in bloom yet, but she'll get there, and it's adorable and perfect. You can see another one coming in on the flip side over here. And then this stem has 2 flowers coming in. You can see these little red buds right there. I think I owe these flowers to pretty intense light. It does bleach out the leaves a little bit. Sorry. It definitely makes this tiny pot need to be watered more frequently, but I think that the sun stress has promoted a lot of flower growth. This is not the first time this plant has flowered. I'm just really excited. I get excited every time because these flowers are just truly so unique and fun. Love her. Looks like a little swollen goldfish. The next plant I want to talk about is, which one? This variegated Burl marks here. These are the 2 original leaves that the plant shipped to me with. And I have all this happy little growth on the way. You can see this little baby leaf coming out with variegation. 3 little leaves on their way in the bottom. 1, 2, 3. I'm petrified to break them. This plant has been a very easy grower. It is a philodendron after all, and those tend to be easier care. Not all the time, but most of the time. I honestly don't keep her in all that bright of light, and I water her when the pot is very light and dry. I have found that this plant is fairly drought tolerant, which is great. Oh my God, there's more. She's a powerhouse. I have been really happy with the progress of this plant. She took a little bit of nursing. I think I kept her either in the prop box or in a water jar after she shipped to me. It has been fairly smooth sailing ever since. I do have some crisping of the white variegation on the edges, you can see. All in all, a very happy, healthy, beautiful plant. One cute little plant is this aloe, which I know is a very common plant, but we can still be excited about her little growth progress. So if you peep into this pot, you can see I have a pup on the way, and this is how you can propagate an aloe. If I let her grow out a little bit more, I can divide her out from the mama plant and pot her into a separate pot, and then I would have 2 aloe plants. It is a sign that she's doing well, and I have killed pretty much every aloe that I have previously owned, so this is a very big victory for me, believe it or not. I have found that underwatering is way better than overwatering with this plant because they retain so much water in their leaves that if you overwater them, you are totally gonna have a rotting plant. However, sometimes I lean a little bit too dehydrated. You can kind of see that with this plant, or this leaf. It's very squishy, it has bent a little bit. I try to give this plant sufficient light, not too much, otherwise it would blister, but a very bright indirect light setting would be super ideal for this plant. Very happy with this and the progress with this, knock on wood, because every time I compliment a plant that I've been struggling with, it does a complete 180 on me. So fingers crossed on this aloe, but now I have a insurance plant coming in on the corner here. Okay, let's talk about this guy. Philodendron Florida Ghost. Stunner. This plant and me have a history together. I've had this plant for quite some time. It was featured in one of my very first videos here on the channel. This wasn't sent to me. I actually did pay for this from Green Spaces and I did an unboxing. This is one of the plants that I rehabbed from shipping. We started off strong with, like, you know, these little leaves. The variegation will fade and you will have regular green leaves with maturity. Then I ran into an accident. So I had this chopped leaf, which was kind of, you know, whatever. It's still healthy, but it looks like this. And then we ran into the issue of deformed leaves. So I had this happen. It's kind of funny. This looks like a butt to me. I don't know. And then we made it to a fully formed, gorgeously variegated, true Florida ghost leaf. So this is what we are striving for. The leaf size is also phenomenal. I am a sucker for the petioles on these plants because they have a slight little texture to them, and also there is this gradient to a nice red color. With all that being said, we now have this leaf on the way. She's starting to poke out right here, and it looks to me like it's going to be properly variegated, a good size, and it's coming out of the sheath very well. It doesn't need any nudging, I don't think, because you know how sometimes if a plant is not getting enough water or is in low humidity, the new growth can get stuck in the sheath a little bit, but she's doing fine. She is trudging along, and I am so excited to greet this new little leaf. Shout out to the Philodendron Florida Ghost. It was a ride, but I think we finally found our footing and I have never been happier. All right, I think I want to revisit flowers again, and that brings us to oh, I'm so scared to mess this up. Hoya Pubescens. First of all, the foliage has been going crazy. She might need a repot soon. The roots are not busting out of the pot, which is usually one thing I like to look for before deciding to repot. But I am kind of unhappy with the soil. It's a bit compacted. It's not my soil, and I like my plants to be in my soil. So I will hopefully be repotting her soon. One thing that I will point out, well, first of all, I'll get to the exciting thing. We have a peduncle. And if you are unfamiliar with Hoyas, they put out these little peduncles, this little thing right here, that eventually shoots out its little blooms. So this is my second peduncle ever. My Hoya Carnosa Crimson Queen flowered once, but that was it. And now I have my Hoya Pubescens on the way, which is very, very exciting. I think I owe both of these plants flowering due to the high sunlight exposure that I've let them encounter pretty much. That sun stress usually tends to help Hoyas flower, is what I've heard from experience having multiple Hoya in different areas of my home. I don't think it's a huge coincidence that these two that were side by side in the same windowsill with the same light exposure are the ones that flowered. However, with that being said, it was pretty intense sun. You can see this is the type of foliage that was facing my room. So there's a little bit of pink coming through, which is from sun stress, but I do have like this dark green color. And then this was the side that was facing the window / sun. Very pink throughout the leaf, light green, lots of stress to the point that I had, where is it? I have burning and leaves dying off. I have since moved her from that windowsill because it was getting to be too much. I even have a sun blister on this leaf. This leaf wasn't even touching the window. So I said, all right, that's enough. She's had enough sun. I have a peduncle to celebrate, and now we can move her to more indirect light where she can maybe recover and get back to a more healthy color, even though, don't get me wrong, the pink is gorgeous. It is. And these leaves aren't inherently dying off. You know, there's nothing wrong with adjusting to make your plants a little happier. Okay, 2 more plants. This one, we're gonna end with my favorite, but this one is a rehab. This was a shipping rehab from one of those Indonesia plant shops. Whoopsies. It is an Allocation dragon scale. It came to me with pretty much all of the leaves rotting off, but the bulb and the stem was healthy. So I figured why not try to rehab it. I put the stem here in some spag and I keep it in my prop box. Now we have roots that you can see. There's also some under the spag. I don't want to disturb her too much. But obviously the 2 most exciting parts are these 2 little leaves coming in, which is phenomenal. This is my second time bringing an Allocation kind of back to life. One was my Allocation Polly. She didn't go full dormant. She did require a little bit of rehab, cutting down some leaves and bringing her back. This is a full rehab that I am so pumped about. It really like gassed me up a little bit with my plant skills. It's not all that hard to do, but there is a satisfaction in bringing a stump back to life. So that is what's happening here, and I will be sure to keep you all updated on how these leaves look when they finally unfurl. I will be keeping her in the prop box for as long as possible until she is a little bit more established and has leaves to, you know, whatever, support herself. We all need a little support. And that is the deal with the Allocation dragon scale. I'm very excited. Not all of the rehabs from that shipment made it, but she did, so I'm very hype about that. Okay, and the last plant I want to share with all of you is one of my favorite house plants. Let's bring her over. She is usually right here, actually. That is my Syngonium Chiappency. I will admit, this bit of her is a bit bald. We will have to prop and plug eventually. I just want to showcase how beautiful these leaves are. Like, just an absolute stunner. The newest leaf has finally sprung, and she is in here. She has not fully unfurled yet. Oh, the sun is out. She said, hello, spring. Okay, the sun went away a little bit. She is still unfurling, but definitely a decent size. You can see it's bigger than the palm of my hand, and I am almost 5'8". I have decently sized hands. This is gonna be a very beautiful, beautiful addition to the vine. I don't want to mess with her too much because she is unfurling. I don't want to cause any damage, but she's there. She is light green. She is making her way, and I have never, like, this plant, first of all, it was on my wish list for so long to not only have this plant, but such a beautiful specimen, might I add, is extremely fulfilling, and I will prop and plug eventually. She's actually starting to grow a little further past the pole. I just want her to get a little bit more established before I chop her up. Yeah, this was the last plant I wanted to share with all of you because she is stunning and one of my favorites. I hope you enjoyed seeing all of my little houseplant updates. It made me so happy to just walk around my collection and kind of peep at some of the things going on as we all get ready for spring. Thank you all so much for watching. Please comment down below what your favorite plant was, what plants you are excited about in your collection. Please subscribe to my channel if you aren't subscribed already. You want to see more planty content from me. Like this video, hit the notification bell, check out my merch, all that good stuff, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Huge thank you to all of my members. Thank you to O'Neill, Val, Katrina, Audrey, Louie, Heather, _B, Jacqueline, Brooke, Daniel, Vanessa, Michelle, Tori, Candy, and Pam. You guys are the best, and I'll see you in my next video.